Hey y'all, what's going on? I pray that all is well with y'all on this Monday. We're going to jump right into it. This is the first video of the Purpose video series. I'm going to get right into it. Like I said, y'all gonna see me looking to the side sometimes because this is where my notes are. I'm going to start off with a simple definition of what purpose is, okay? Purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. I'm going to say that again. Purpose, the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Purpose, the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Okay, let's stay there for 1 second. Purpose. We all have a purpose. We all were created for something, which is the reason why we exist. Okay, but what we have to figure out is what is our purpose. Now, we just went into what is purpose. Again, is what I'll say is the definition. The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So, the purpose is for which something is done, something is created, or for which something exists. So, your purpose is why you were created. Your purpose is why you exist. Your purpose is what needs to get done through you. Nobody else but you. You were created for a purpose to get something done, and that's why you exist. I'm going to say that again. You were created for a purpose to get something done, and that's why you exist. You have to decide, y'all, whether what you're doing is your purpose or your hobby. Now, a hobby is something you do to pass time when you bored. You know, like you crochet, you bake, or something like that. Let me rephrase. With baking, some people bake because of, they're bored. Some people crochet because they're bored. But some people also, make lucrative businesses out of that because that is their purpose. But what we have to, again, decipher is what we are doing. What we're doing, is that our purpose or is it a hobby? Are we doing something just to pass time, or are we doing something because that is what we were created for, that's what we exist, and that's what God has put in us that He needs us to get done? Okay? A hobby is something we do for fun. A purpose is something that is needed. You are needed. You are here for a reason. You were created for a reason. You exist for a reason to get something done. You just have to figure out what that thing is. A purpose is not something that you can put down or run from for too long. Like a hobby, when you get tired of doing it, you be like, okay, I'm done. I'm finna go do something else. I'm finna go figure out something else. But if something is your purpose, if something is your calling, no matter what you do, no matter how you try to run from it, ignore it, it's not something that you can put down. It's not something that you can run from for too long, because it's why you were created. It is why you exist. It is what you were placed here to do, to get that thing done. Okay? And then also your purpose should motivate you. Your purpose should motivate you. If what you're doing right now in life is not motivating you and pushing you to be something else, to do something different than what you're doing, you might want to decipher, is this a purpose or is this a hobby? Okay? And then whether you realize it or not, you living and breathing is already you operating in one part of your purpose, because you were created for a reason. You're here for a reason. God makes no mistakes with who he placed here. You were here for a reason. And then I'm going to give you 2 scriptures which back up what I'm saying, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Okay? So the first scripture is Psalms 57 verse 2, and it is the Amplified version I'll be reading from. And it says, I will cry to God Most High, who accomplishes all things on my behalf, for he completes my purpose in his plan. For he completes my purpose in his plan. Again, you were created for a purpose. God has a plan for you. You just have to tap into who you are, to what he continues to show you, so that you can figure out the purpose that he placed you here for, to bring forth his plan, which is going to bring forth your fulfillment. Okay? And then the other scripture that I have is Jeremiah 1:5, and this is the Message version. And it says, before I shaped you in the womb, I knew all about you. Before you saw the light of day, I had holy plans for you. A prophet to the nations. That's what I had in mind for you. God already had his plan for us when we were in our mother's womb. He already knew what he placed us here to do. He already knew the difficulties we were going to experience once he placed us here. But the thing we have to know is God placed us here for a reason. Again, if you go back to the definition of purpose, it is the reason why something was created, the reason why something exists, and the reason why something needs to get done. So my question for you is, what is your purpose? Why were you created? Why did you exist? What do you think God created you to get done? He's been showing you things. You need to tap into that, because that is what he created you to do. That is what he created you to do. You have to know you in order to figure out what your purpose is. What your purpose is not going to look like somebody else's purpose. You can't run from your purpose for too long. I said that earlier. You cannot run from your purpose for too long. You can't pick it up and put it down. Your purpose is always going to pull at you, no matter how you try to ignore it. So that thing that you're ignoring, that thing that you're fearful of stepping out of doing, that is your purpose. That thing that you like, I'm over this, that is your hobby. There's a difference. So with that being said, that wraps up our first video of the purpose series, which we just kind of discussed the breakdown of what a purpose is and all of those things. On the next video, we will discuss how to tap into your purpose. How to tap into your purpose. What are some things that you can do to tap into your purpose? What are some things that you need to realize in order for you to tap into your purpose? Remember, a purpose is the reason why something was created, the reason why something exists, and something that needs to get done. So, what is your purpose?